Feather the nest. This is a great opening or closing activity, which is demanding, competitive and skill-based. In a 10 metre by 10 metre grid, 3 players stand at each corner marker. All the balls start in the middle of the square. On the coach's instruction, players try to gain as many balls as possible in their corner by at first collecting balls from the middle and then by stealing them from the corners. The players cannot defend their corner or prevent their opponents from stealing their balls. Players can only dribble one ball at a time. Give the players a time limit. At the end of the time period, the winners are the ones with the most balls at their corner. Have a rest and then play again.
Quick feet. Quick feet sessions are essential if young soccer players are going to develop to their full potential. In this quick feet activity, markers are placed about 5 metres apart in a zigzag shape as shown in the video. The players kick the ball gently from one side to the other and then run around the markers and try to reach the ball before it stops. The players concentrate on sharp turns around the markers before accelerating to the next marker. Quick feet activities need to be completed early in the coaching session to ensure that players are fresh and able to maintain a good tempo and good technique. Across the square. This is an activity to practice running and turning with the ball. Keep the ball close to you at all times and have lots of touches. When you turn, don't stop the ball and try to accelerate out of the turn. The coach can designate which turns are to be used. For example, insides of the feet or drag back as a specific learning tool. The coach can also provide players with the opportunity to express their individuality, flair and imagination when free expression is encouraged.
3 players are positioned on each side of a 10 metre by 10 metre grid square, each with a ball at their feet. Number each side 1 to 4. On the coach's instructions, the players dribble their ball to the opposite side and back again. Call oppositions in succession, for example, 1 then 3, 2 then 4, etc. Use language such as have lots of touches, don't kick the ball too far ahead, be able to touch the ball in each stride, not too fast, keep the ball under control. Let the players have several goes to let the players feel comfortable.
This is the same as the previous exercise, but just before each group arrives at the opposite side, call the second number. For example, call 1 and then 3, 2 and then 4. Remember to reverse the numbers, for example, 3 and then 1, etc. This activity allows players to experience the other players around them when they are turning. Again, use language such as have lots of touches, don't kick the ball too far ahead, be able to touch the ball in each stride, not too fast, keep the ball under control.
This time the coach calls 2 opposite numbers together, 1 and 3, 2 and 4. This activity allows players to feel more comfortable with players in front of them and encourages them to move the ball away from legs and to attack spaces between players.
This exercise allows the player to experience the other players coming from the sides. The coach calls a number, and just prior to them reaching the opposite side, he calls a second number from the side, 1 and then 2, 3 and then 4. All adjoining sides should be used. Remember to reverse the numbers, have several runs. It is important to reinforce, have lots of touches, don't kick the ball too far ahead, be able to touch the ball in each stride, not too fast, keep the ball under control.
In this progression, the coach calls 2 numbers at once, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, etc. Remember to mix and reverse the numbers once the players become comfortable. Turning Channel 1. This is a good exercise for players to develop their dribbling and turning skills. In this exercise, the players are organised in pairs at either end of a 20 metre by 10 metre channel. The coach places markers in the centre of the channel. A player from each end of the channel dribbles their soccer ball towards the markers, and just before reaching them, they turn away and return to their line. The second player then repeats the exercise, and so on. The coach instructs which turn is to be used: insides, outsides, drag back, and so on. The coach should encourage players to accelerate out of their turn. Turning Channel 2. This is a good exercise for players to develop their dribbling and turning skills. In this exercise, the players are organised in pairs at either end of a 20 metre by 10 metre channel. The coach places markers in the centre of the channel as shown in the video. A player from each end of the channel now dribbles to the central markers before cutting the ball to the side and around the markers before continuing to the opposite end of the channel. The coach then calls for the next pair to go. The coach calls the skill to be used. For example, inside of the right foot, outside of the left foot, right foot drag back, and so on. Players should try to complete their cut in 2 touches, one to the side and one to straighten up before accelerating away. Players should be encouraged to make the cut sharp and away from opposition legs before accelerating away. 4 versus 4 versus 4. This exercise ideally takes place in an area 20 metres by 30 metres. However, in the early stages, an area of 30 metres by 30 metres or even 40 metres by 30 metres may be needed. The coach should gauge the size of an area needed by the degree of success the players achieve. If the defenders win too easily, then the area is too small, and conversely, if they achieve little success, then it is too large. The players are divided into 3 teams of 4. 2 of these teams play against the third, 8 versus 4, and aim to keep possession. The coach rewards the team of 4 every time they gain possession or force the team of 8 to play outside the designated area. The team of 4 immediately return possession to the team of 8 and try to score again. The coach should rotate the teams about every 60 seconds. Which team scores the most goals? This is an excellent practice for developing good receiving and passing skills under reasonable pressure. Players' attacking team skills are practiced, forming triangles and diamonds, and it will also enable players to learn to defend as a group.
Four versus 4 with 4 out. This is a practice which encourages players to develop their decision-making skills and vision whilst helping to reinforce good passing and receiving habits. In a 20 metre by 20 metre area, 2 teams of 4 players play possession soccer. There are 4 other players on the outside of the square, 1 on each side, and these players support both teams. The players in the square attempt to keep possession of the ball by dribbling and/or passing to their teammates. They may also pass the ball to any player on the outside of the square. That player then has to pass the ball back to the same team. This is an excellent game to allow players to practice their passing and receiving skills. Change the players around regularly so that everyone gets plenty of practice. The coach can progress the game by introducing a method of scoring. When a team passes the ball to a player on the outside, a goal is scored if the player then passes the ball to a teammate. You cannot score with the same outsider twice in a row. The coach can make it even harder by insisting that the outsider has only 1 touch if a goal is to be scored.
6 versus 6. This is a game-centred practice containing all the necessary elements of the game. In an area 40 metres by 30 metres, play 6 versus 6 soccer. There are 5 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper. If a goal is scored at either end, change the goalkeepers of both teams. Rotate the goalkeepers so that all players take a turn at being the goalkeeper. There are no corner kicks. If the ball goes out over the back line, it will be a goalkeeper's ball. There is no offside. Take throw-ins as usual. Encourage players to support each other by forming lots of imaginary triangles and diamonds. This is where all our passing, receiving and dribbling skills are put to the test. Encourage players to adopt good habits. These games will help the players learn about attacking and defending and enable them to develop group skills. Let the game be their teacher. Step over inside to out and away opposite leg. The player dribbles in a straight line before stepping over the ball with the right leg from inside to out and immediately using the outside of the left foot to change direction and accelerate away. Repeat the exercise by using the opposite legs.